Check 1, 2. Check.
Checky.
Checky check. Checky check.
Checkers. Ice cream.
Check 1, 2. Can you guys hear us okay? I'm getting some game audio. Hold on, let me fix that game audio. I'm sure you guys don't want to hear that the whole time. All right, very quick level check for you guys to make sure we're sounding okay. Just give us a thumbs up, say we sound all right, and then we will move on and talk about all sorts of fun stuff. Checking 1, 2. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. I hear sounds good.
All right.
Which is all I need to hear. That's great.
That sounds good.
Awesome. So we have a special guest this week.
I'm not that special.
Deluxe is here. Deluxe, why don't you tell us what you did on the project? This is your first time on the stream, right?
Yes. I'm usually too busy, so that's
You are actually really, really busy. I was really excited to have you on because you are sort of the man in charge of the Warlock, more or less, or had a lot to do with the Warlock. So you are the right guy to talk to about Warlock magics. And,
all the classes, really. That was my primary goal on Sword Coast, was all of the classes. I did all the classes, design to finish, implementation.
Awesome.
And I also did most of the AI in the game. So
that's incredible. So thank Deluxe for working on all the classes, working on the AI. Me. Yeah, and that's, I know you have like everybody here, pretty much except for myself, has a cool nickname.
No, that's true.
So what's your real name?
I'm Dan,
okay.
Which is a little confusing because there are two other Dans here.
There's a lot of Dans, yeah.
I go by Deluxe because my first name is Dan and my last name is Luxa, so it's Deluxe. It worked out really well. It was actually a nickname got coined my first year here.
Yeah.
And in space.
So they just call me Ash or Hey You.
Hey You.
Or Guy in the Corner is what I...
we are kind of in a corner
hey,
right
guy,
now.
Yeah, we're actually in opposite corners of the whole building.
That's true.
So I rarely actually visually see you. Because where my desk is, I have a perch and I can see what's going on. But you're in the far corner.
I have a nice little wall in the way.
Yeah, you're hiding from the masses. Well, that's awesome. So Deluxe is here. He's going to be, of course, talking us through the Warlock. We've got a really a lot of fun stuff planned for the day. I'm sick, so I've been out for a bunch of days, and I'm sort of playing catch up. So I'm not in the contagious portion of being sick anymore. But I did miss a couple days right after the last stream. So I gathered a bunch of your questions from social media. So we're going to be answering those. We're going to be showing off some brand new Warlock gameplay, some stuff that I think you guys are really going to be excited about. Last week we showed sort of a Warlock that was more based around damage over time, and this week we're going to do a melee-based Warlock, which I think is really, really fun. So we'll show off that in action in just a little while. At the end of the stream, we're of course going to be giving away some game codes. We're going to be giving away copies of Sword Coast Legends, and we'll also be giving away some of the Daggers of Venom, which you can really only get from watching the streams at this point. So I don't have Ebola. I did bring these. These are collector's edition. They're called Bella Snots. These are my personalized tissues. So Bella Snots, you can win. No, you can't win Bella Snots. They're just for me.
Used ones.
You can use it. I don't know if they want to win those.
No.
I know, but some of my horrible jokes, man.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
That's what I'm made of.
Ash is sick from eating all the food he does every week. Actually, we did bring some new stuff in this week. These actually look pretty good. So as we're giving away some codes at the end of the stream, we like to eat some strange and unusual, it's kind of rude to call them strange and unusual, different foods from all around the world. This is a brand called Colombiana, and this is Piazza. They look like vanilla wafers.
Yeah, they don't look too bad.
They don't look too bad. They look okay. So we'll be eating those at the end of the stream as well. So that's exciting stuff.
All right.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about the implementation of the Warlock before we get started and start showing the Warlock off. What did it take to take the Warlock, the 5th edition Warlock, and bring it into Sword Coast Legends? What was that process like?
Well, it was a little difficult for the first set of classes because we were working with a really early version of the handbook, but with the Warlock we had the benefit of having a finished handbook to work from.
To you.
Yeah,
just
sure.
Because I'm a yeller.
I will yell louder if that's necessary.
That's good.
So I basically looked through the spell book and I was like, okay, what spells do they have that are interesting that would make different sets of playstyles for us to work with?
Right.
And then the Warlock, it worked out really well because the Warlock has pacts, the Warlock has patrons, so those lended themselves directly to different class trees.
Right.
And so just picking through what they've got available, what we had time for, making it as cool as possible within those constraints.
That's awesome. So, in terms of the choosing process, what all went into that? Did you pick ones that were perhaps, because obviously we can't do all of them.
I wish we could.
I know.
Absolutely.
I mean, none of our classes. It's really, really hard within the constraints of a video game to do all of the abilities and skills, especially the ones that have been added at later date. I don't need this anymore. I don't need my cool DJ headphone.
Oh.
I don't need to hear the music.
They make you look fancy.
I know. It's all pretend. There is no sound coming out of that. I was just deaf in one ear, so that it doesn't really work out too well. But how did you and the rest of the team choose which ones we're going to go in?
It's usually the most bang for the buck, really. I mean, if we can create an ability that we can then use on that enemy or that boss or between these 6 classes, then we'll do that. Just to make sure that we can fill out things as much as possible.
Awesome.
And for the Warlock, it was what do we have time for? What do we already have? What can we add? And what looks the coolest? And what plays the coolest? And reading through the spell book, I'm like, oh, that sounds cool. Oh, that sounds cool. And then I made a massive list of 100 different spells, and I was like, oh, I'd love to do all these, but I can't, obviously. So I go through and I either try to combine things, or I cut things that we already do this somewhere else, or however that works, and then get down to where we are now. That's
awesome. And we've said on the stream before, but Brad does a lot of our effects for our abilities, and there's some really beautiful looking stuff that you're going to see today, some really cool unique looking abilities. And when you guys eventually do bring the Warlock class into your parties for online play, they can fill a variety of different roles, which is one thing you'll see from last week to this week. The Warlock that we're going to play this week is he almost plays, I want to say, he's like part controller, part rogue, the way that I'm playing.
He's got some good stuff on him, for sure.
So we'll show that off in just a couple minutes. What are some of your favorites? Let's do the favorite questions.
You're actually going to show one off today.
Yeah?
Yeah. The Pact of the Blade is absolutely my favorite, because it basically turns the Warlock into a melee.
All right. Well, let's just dive in.
You want to dive in? Let's dive in. We'll
just kind of pick through this today, guys. And like I said, under the weather, I didn't have my normal prep time for these shows is like I prep for days. No, I'm just kidding. I don't prep for days, but I prep for longer than I prep for today's show. So today we're just going to kind of hang out, answer questions, and wing it and have some fun. So hang in there with me. So here we go. We have Grishnok again. So I went ahead and reset Grishnok's abilities, and like I said, I made him a little bit more melee-centric from last week. I'll go ahead and turn my audio back on so you can hear this stuff. And we'll turn the master volume down a little bit. Sorry, Tony. I know, Tony always gets mad I turn his sound off. All right, so here we are with Grishnok. Now, Deluxe was just talking about Pact of the Blade. And also, I'll quickly go through my party this week. I have Lydia with me this week, and Lydia is mainly spec'd for heals. Her stuff's actually not on her bar. It got reset. So she has a lot of healing abilities and buffs. We have Ishkin, of course, who's spec'd for assassination, and we have Jarhild, who is mainly spec'd as a tank. And then, of course, we have good old Grishnok here, and we'll start off with Pact of the Blade. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, so we were at rank 2, Pact of the Blade. It says creates a pact with the currently held melee weapon, changing any equipment changing any equipment will momentarily break the bond. While the pact is active, it grants +2 bonus to attacks and allows for a secondary attack. So I have a nice little weapon equipped here. So we have the Gelid Slicer. Is that how you say it?
I don't know.
Gelid Slicer. But we're going to go ahead and activate this, and this is just really awesome. So this will stay on. This actually doesn't have, if I were to actually click this off, there would be a slight cooldown here, but this will stay on as long as I leave it on. And this basically is putting this Warlock into melee mode.
So we've made a pact with the weapon. Is the intent.
So we made a pact with the weapon, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I love this effect a lot. And I'll quickly run through all the abilities that this guy has, and you can kind of maybe give some insight to those abilities, and then we'll just go ahead and show those off in action.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and sorry guys, if you guys feel like asking questions in the chat, just do an @SwordQuest Legends. If it catches my eye while I'm playing, or if it catches Deluxe's eye, we'll go ahead and answer your question to the best of our ability. So we have a question here from Dexerd, who says, in the future, will there be class responses in dialogue? Example, you encounter a demon and a warlock can talk and negotiate with it, but other classes can't. Ideally, that would be awesome. There aren't plans to implement that at this time, because that's actually incredibly involved for the game to understand what specific class you are. In a perfect world, absolutely we would add that. At this time, we're not going to be adding that. So Can I talk release date of Rage of Demons? We're really, I know I've said this before. We're so close to announcing that release date, but with consoles, you have to jump through a lot of hoops. You have to do a lot of different things before it is available on console, and before we can even tell people the exact date that it's available on console. So we're getting very close to release date. I've even written things that have release dates on them, but we're not exactly sure that it's time to release that release date. So I love to use soon TM. Soon we will release the release date, and it is sooner than you think. Okay, and of course we want to get it out as quickly as possible. So, all right. So I'm not seeing any more specific questions, so we're going to go ahead and start rolling through these. Another great ability is Vampiric Touch. Which is something that, of course, you can get if you use Bryn in the campaign, or if you use the Stalker ability tree. The Warlock also has access to Vampiric Touch, which is a great addition to a melee Warlock, because you can, get up, and this is a touch ability, so you have to be up nice and close, and so you can do some melee. If you take some damage, drain some life. One with Shadows. This is a crazy ability.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Let's show this off very quickly.
One with Shadows is another example of where I wanted to do 2 spells, but I had to combine them.
Right.
So One with Shadows is actually a mixture between Invisibility and Expeditious Retreat.
Okay.
So when you pop it, you become invisible for a short period of time, and it vastly increases your move speed.
Right.
So you're able to get
so
out of that situation.
So you guys can see here,
quick.
this is my regular. I don't have any movement enhancing equipment on right now. So this is just my move speed enhanced with One with Shadows. So it's pretty fast, and it has roughly a 1 minute cooldown.
Yeah, it's meant to be a real good constant quick move out of battle, or reposition yourself, because invisibility drops your aggro. So
right. We're going to show this one off in combat.
Yep.
So this is
that's one of my favorite VFX. Brad did an amazing job on that one. It's gorgeous. I like it.
So this is an AOE. What's the general?
It's basically the reverse of Bless. It's called, I believe it's called Bane, but the Warlock has a custom name for it called Thief of Five Fates. So we went with that theme, and you'll see the effect when we actually play it.
So we'll show that off in just a couple of seconds. Now, one of the great things that the Warlock has access to are different self buffs and shields, and so you have access to a fire shield here, and I love the effect on that.
Yep.
And this stays on for quite some time.
It's a pretty long duration.
Yeah, it's a pretty long duration, and so it's actually going to do damage in contact with enemies.
Yep.
So I'm going to leave that on, and then when that actually wears off, I'm going to go ahead and kick on the armor of Agathis?
I believe so. Yeah.
Everyone knows on this stream that I've been pronouncing things incorrectly since I was a little kid.
Gelatinous.
Yeah, there's actually jokes about it in the game. So yeah, it should have that long duration if it's a mix with Expeditious Retreat. Yeah, so good. Yeah, people are noticing that. Yeah, and everybody knows that's been playing this game. We really do our best to adhere to 5th edition rules, but some things have to be changed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, things have to be changed for the way that this game works. So we have Blight, and Blight does
necrotic damage. Necrotic damage hit. Yep.
To a direct target, right? So
yep.
It's a single target.
Yep.
And then of course we have
Misty Escape.
Misty Escape, which is very similar to Misty Step.
Mm-hmm.
And new effects on that though, so it's actually really cool.
I think that's actually the similar effects to the Dimension Door that we had.
Is it similar to Dimension Door? Okay. And then we have Fey Presence, which is an AOE Fear.
Which is from Pact of the Fey.
Pact of the Fey.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we showed off Hunger of Hadar last week, which is has one of the longest descriptions in all of the game. But why not?
It does a lot.
It does a lot of different stuff. It debuffs like crazy.
Debuffs, does a bunch of different damage.
And, of course,
types.
we have our Drow racial abilities here. So let's, before all this is about to wear off, so let's just go ahead.
You also have your cantrip there if you want to show. I don't know if you showed that
off
last week.
I think I showed the cantrip off last week.
Right.
So we're going to steer clear of cantrips this week and just kind of wade into battle here. Let's go ahead and bring the team in, see what we got. I'm seeing some questions real quick.
What was the release date for the release date for the release date?
What is the release date of the release date? Man, I wish I knew. I really do. I wish I knew. All right, so we're going to go ahead. And this is, of course, one of the new tile sets from Rage of Demons. And let's just be reckless here at first. All right, kicked on my armor.
Yep.
You can see I'm actually doing quite a bit of melee damage here.
Well, you get double attacks, so it really ends up being a decent melee character.
Yeah.
And with all their buffs and their other spells that come along, they are a very powerful class.
So yeah, there's a lot of. Last week I was showing off, how much control you had over the battlefield using the Warlock with a lot of, large AOE's and a lot of debuffs and damage over time. So it's really different this week to kind of run up there with the rest of my characters and just start whacking away. It's a completely different way of playing.
Oh yeah.
And of course you can do a combination of both. If I wanted to stand back and kick on my cantrip and use a lot of my AOE stuff, I could do that as well. So this is, of course, Dark One's Blessing.
That's one of the passives.
Yeah, it's a passive, so I can go ahead and show you guys how that works.
Yes, every time, with that ability, every time the Warlock kills something, they gain a damage shield. And the higher level of the ability you have, the higher the damage shield.
Yes, I actually, when I played a lot of 4th edition as well, and that was one of my favorite abilities. Temporary hit points in 4th edition would save my butt as my Warlock constantly. I was always buffing with temporary hit points. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put on Armor of Agathis, and we're actually going to have everybody else hang back. And I'm just going to bring in the Warlock by himself and see how long I can last.
How long you can survive.
How long I can survive. Saved against hold person, so we're going to go ahead and use racial first. Let's try and blind these guys, and then we're going to do a little fear. So
nice, you got one of them.
Got one. All right, let's go ahead.
Wouldn't work on the undead, so you're going to do Thief of 5 Fates?
Yep, here we go.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. So you can see I'm not really taking much damage. This ghoul is not really taking much damage from my armor ability, but we'll go ahead and hit him with Blight. I think I missed.
He saved.
He saved. So let's try this. That broke aggro. Then he ran off to my friends.
They ran up to your friends.
And we'll go ahead and let them fight back. And this is, for those watching, this is all on normal. So let me just ask in chat, how is combat volume? Is it a little too loud, or is it just right? I took my headphones off, so. Oh, people are asking about the combat log, Eldarth, about the combat log output. Actually, I don't have an answer for you yet. I'm going to have to ask Tim after the stream. Like I said, I've been out, but I did see your question on the forums regarding combat log output text file.
I was also the designer for the combat log.
So. Yes, well, thank you for that. That was something that was actually a huge... By the way, I love this tile.
Yeah.
How gorgeous is this?
That is...
it is a gorgeous tile.
There's a lot going on in the center there.
Yeah. Let's get in there and do some damage.
They have no combat volume.
They have no combat volume. Okay. Let me turn it up a little bit.
No sound from the game.
Give me a second to tweak that out. Sorry, guys. I didn't realize you wouldn't have game stream.
They've just been watching us the whole time.
I know.
Yeah.
So incredibly exciting.
We've been staring at the screen and they haven't been seeing it. No, it's just audio, right?
Yeah. Give me 1 second, guys.
All these things look so fancy.
It is very fancy.
It says it's very slight.
Very slight.
Maybe just turn it up.
Yeah, let's pump it up a little bit. We'll just bump it up.
Pump up the jam.
Normally I blow out their eardrums with game volume, so I've become very cautious. Alright, so let's go ahead and run in there and drop a Thief of 5 Fates. So, do a little stealth mission here. Leave everybody else behind. So you can do some really sneaky stuff here. Love it. Absolutely love it. All right, so we're going to get everybody else back in here to help us out.
Asking if we have access to any new creatures. Yes, we do have some new ones. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about them.
Yeah, you can go ahead and talk about I think we've talked about a handful, but go ahead and bring some up. Why
sure?
not? Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We are working on an orc model. So we have an orc. Given more time, we'll make him more customizable. Right now, it's just an orc slave.
Mm-hmm.
We also have a kobold
Mm-hmm.
coming, which is again just a kobold slave. But if given more time, we'll make some more. Still no sound.
It's all right. We'll get it working later. We don't have time to troubleshoot, so.
Yeah, we have a kobold coming. Working on him actually.
Totally. Oh my God, guys! I
What?
made the stupidest error.
What have you done? Oh, that's what. He muted it.
All right,
guys.
there we go.
It was muted.
You guys should have sound now. I totally
Making
just
your
had
own
the mute
combat
button.
sounds? That sounds like fun.
Yeah, here we go. Ching chang. Laser sound. Oh look, I'm losing here. Sorry, I was not paying attention. This is very bad. Okay,
Yes, an orc.
where's Lydia?
And making sure that we're adding the orc to the DM customizable set, so you'll be able to take him and mess with him a bit. I'm going to hope to make a couple other ones if possible, given enough time. May make an into a patch, but down. Now they're trying to turn it down.
Down. Okay. I knew that would happen. I was like, as soon as we got it up and cooking. There we go. So that should be nice and low. You know what? We'll just turn the master down as well. See, guys, told you I'm a little too medicated right now.
The other new creature, we have a Intellect Devourer, I believe. Have you guys seen that one yet?
We have not showed off the Intellect Devourer.
We do have an Intellect Devourer. I don't know how much of this I'm supposed to be telling people.
Well,
It's
you know,
all right.
at this point,
It's good.
it's your first time on the show.
Yeah.
What can happen?
I'm gonna reveal everything we're doing
Yeah.
from now on, and that's
Yeah.
it. Those are the three big ones.
Mm-hmm.
Because they all require new animation sets, new rigs, all that sort of fun. So you're just gonna die over here while I'm talking.
I'm gonna try very hard not to die.
Half orc race. I'm sure we're gonna try to add as many races as we can. I mean, that's if we're allowed to keep going, we're gonna keep going. I don't know which one's next.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, all my.
all your spells are reset.
Yes, all her spells are reset. So I downloaded a new build this morning, and I'm like, why isn't Lydia healing stuff? Bear with me a minute, guys. Lydia just decided to unlearn all of her fancy spells, which is why she was not healing my party. Oh, Lydia.
Cool beam coming from the south. I'll have to. When it loads back up, I'll see what it is.
Sorry, guys. Give me a second to respec her.
Add a
her
toggle for walk. That's something we could probably do.
Well, yeah, we showed them last week on the PlayStation 4 version that there is analog controls for walking
Yes.
now, and a lot of people really want those brought over to the PC. But again, that's something that we'll have to wait and see.
I have no control over that part of it. I'm sorry.
That's the best answer, right? When you literally,
That's out of my hands.
I don't know what to do about that. Yeah, that's my answer for most things, since I just ask the questions. They still pounding away at questions over there. Let's give her some wind wall, a little DPS here. All right, so now I can actually heal my party.
Before she dies. Oh, nice. Cut it off just in time.
Seriously, all right. I was like, I haven't been this terrible in a long time.
Is it that crazy green beam somebody was asking about? No, I think it was one of the... That one? I think that might be Eldritch Blast.
All right, Lydia.
There is not yet a cockatrice.
That would be so cool, though, right?
Giant chicken monster.
Yeah, those are nasty. I remember fighting those in tabletop quite a bit. Very, very evil. He's doing some pretty solid melee damage here.
Mm-hmm. Yo, gibbed.
And these skeletons are just so brutal.
Oh, you're fighting the tank too.
Yeah.
They're
They're rough.
actually.
Are you
somebody
partially
mentioned-
responsible for that?
Yeah, thanks. I do most of the stats too.
Yeah.
Somebody asked about Driders. It's actually interesting. We were going to do Driders originally, and I do a lot of temporary placeholder creatures. and I took a spider, detached a
I
elf
remember
torso,
seeing this.
and
Yeah,
stuck it
I
on
remember
top
seeing
of the
it.
spider so that we would have a temporary stand-in Drider. Unfortunately, we never... the story changed, so we ended up not needing
Right.
the Drider, and so we never got final art for it. So Ropers were also on the list. Roper was another one that I made a temporary asset for. I animated it and everything, and it was awful looking. There's actually a joke around the office that I should make a deluxe special dungeon with all the creatures that I've
discarded
created.
creatures?
The discarded creatures that I've created.
The incomplete Quasimodo strange monsters. I would imagine a party of four warlocks would do very well, actually.
Yeah, it would need maybe a healer, but
Yeah. Do you need a Bellasnot?
no, I had a
No.
burp and I didn't want to burp
okay.
into the mic.
You're so gentlemanly.
Burp.
I think we're almost to the point on this stream. We've been doing it for so long that I'm almost to the point where I'll just burp on the stream, and I think they'd be okay with it.
Island of Misfit Creatures, I like it.
Yes. I remember back, I'm going to date myself here, when I was an Ultima Online player, and I found an
Deluxe edition.
an old archive of Ultima Online discarded monsters, very similar to what you're talking about.
Nice.
I remember being so excited just that these existed someplace. Oh, proned. All right.
There are no plans currently for the monk class, although, I mean, we did the last class based off, we did the warlock based off of community feedback, so whichever one comes next. Yeah, druid was one of the front runners for being the class, and actually I did a lot of the work to start the druid. I have all the design ready to go, and actually started implementing some of the early versions of the spells, but whatever class we do next, we'll have to see.
Right. Oh, save versus paralysis. Alright, so armor?
He's got his invulnerability shield on right now, so
Figured if I just keep whacking away, eventually I'll cut my way through it. There we go. Wow, Mace of Terror just procced.
nice.
Very nice. So let's quickly, till we get some more questions coming through, let's go ahead and look at some of the other trees. And like I said in last week's stream, we're going to do deep dives into the Warlock, and eventually we're going to be showing off aspects of Rage of Demons. We'll show off some of the new areas, we'll show off bits and pieces of the story, we'll show off more Dritz and Gwynnevar stuff. All of that's going to be coming up in upcoming streams. And we appreciate you guys showing up, week after week. We've been doing this for a really long time. I think we recently just passed our 50th stream, which is crazy.
And now I'm here.
Yeah, well, welcome. Yeah, you finally made it. So, yeah, I think this month is our 1-year anniversary of streaming on Twitch TV Circus Legends, which is really cool. If you look at
Nice.
our very first stream, it was crazy. Like, we didn't have any of our fun gear.
You didn't have that, I
We
don't
didn't
think.
have the awesome green towel that I bought. Just a green beach towel. Yeah, so thank you guys so much, by the way, for tuning in and still showing up. A lot of you guys have been here since the very first couple of shows, and it's really, really cool. So let's go ahead and look at some of these different trees. I don't have anything from Pact of the Chain. Pact of the Chain, I showed this off last week, so you actually can summon a Quasit or summon an Imp, which is really cool. And they gain resistances, very similar to Tabletop. And then, of course, Witch Bolt. And some of the other ones, we have Mire the Mind.
It's a custom name for the Warlock's version of Slow.
Okay. And then we have Minion of Chaos, which is a level 13 spell, which I haven't shown off yet. Probably not next week, but the week after that, I'll show off very high-level Warlock stuff, so you'll get to see stuff like Minion of Chaos. So what is Minion of Chaos?
Summons a big flaming elemental. Unfortunately, the only model we have is a Zexu
Oh, okay.
from the main game, so it's currently using that. Given
Okay.
time, I would love to make a new one, but I mean, I could make one.
Yeah.
It'd be terrible looking, but
I say we go for it.
I
say we do an 8-bit.
nice.
Just an
Nice.
8-bit fire elemental.
It'll be great.
Yeah. And then we have Chains of Carceri, I believe that's pronounced.
Your
And-
guess is as good as mine on that one.
Which is it's a paralysis spell.
Yep.
Yeah. And so these you guys have seen today. So this is all Pact of the Blade stuff. And of course, there's different levels to everything. I love one with shadows. I think it's great. So we already showed those off. And of course, we have here we have Circle of Death. What is Circle of Death all about?
It's basically a fireball.
Yeah.
You know, is effective how it works, because it's a spot that you attack and it explodes like a fireball, but it's shadow damage and death oriented. So it's a big black sphere of death rather than a big fiery sphere of death. Like
and then of course we had some people that were on the forums were concerned about Finger of Death, that we changed it too much. I don't believe that they saw initially that Finger of Death does damage as well as the summoned zombies, because I think in our press release about Finger of Death, which was my fault, I said, yeah, it's cool, it summons zombies, but it also does damage. So
it was actually we have had no code time except for what I've worked on for these, and we're getting coders on it this week starting, actually. And this is one of the spells we're looking at, making it so that when the creature dies from Finger of Death, that's what summons the zombie, as it's supposed to be.
Right.
So, you know, that's a little bit lower on the list because there are some things that still don't work correctly, but that is definitely on the list for things to do.
Yeah, and I should really reiterate this, that every time I show you guys stuff on the stream that's not publicly released, it's all work in progress stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's all stuff that can change. You guys have seen stuff change. Stuff could disappear. Finger of Death could become Thumbs of Pain. Can you please make it Thumbs of Pain?
Thumbs of Pain. All right.
I'm sure Wizards of the Coast would love if
I'm sure they wouldn't mind.
Thumbs of Pain. I've been in Circles of Death myself. Me too, back in my youth, sir. Circles of Death, I missed them. All right, so we have some abilities from Archfey. Sleep, which I still think is one of the most overpowered spells in the game.
It is pretty powerful.
I mean, it's incredibly powerful.
You fight a lot of drow during the game, though. They're immune to sleep.
That is true. You fight a lot of undead and skeletons, also immune to sleep. But man, if you encounter humanoids and you can get one of these puppies off, it is just such beautiful crowd control. And of course, Warlock has the ability to do a little bit of crowd control as well. Dark Delirium. The Thumbs of Pain.
Sorry, I was just enjoying that.
Toes of Life.
That'll be the counter spell.
Yeah, Toes of Life is great. DM loot control. Not yet. That is definitely, it's something that's on our vast backlog of stuff that we'd like to add to the game. DM loot control is something that...
The design council question. People are asking about getting into it.
Oh, getting into it. We still don't know. There's a lot of things, and I do have some questions from the forums and stuff, which, let me look at the time and see what time it is. And I might tackle these questions now. It's a good time. So we'll answer them now. Why not?
All right.
So we did have some questions from the forums and from other social media channels that we'll go ahead and try and tackle. Some of you guys have already asked these already, but one of them was about the design council, what's going on, and we're still discussing internally what we want to do with the design council, adding additional people that did not get the addition of the game with the statue. But what that means, we really, in all honesty, we have to figure out what happens with Rage of Demons, what happens with Sword Quest Legends on console, and then kind of reconvene and see, what's going on, with future development and so on and so forth. So, we don't want to make any big design council changes when we don't exactly know what's going to be, happening. So, wait on that, and we will let you know as soon as we know. Okay. Mod support, sort of the same thing. We have every intention of supporting modding further. We think some of the mods that have been done in the past by folks like Mad Hatter and Prodigy, I think their work is really, really impressive. We want to, of course, open up more, but you guys are going to have to wait, because honestly, right now we're in the middle of crunching again for Rage of Demons and crunching for console. So it's
I'll be crunching again in a few minutes on
these. Yeah, we're crunching on
piazzas.
Some snacks and on some piazzas. I'm pretty excited about that. So yeah, once all that is over and the storm calms a little bit, we'll be able to look at what's going on with modding, what's going on with design council, all that kind of fun stuff. Can you show off? This is from Draconis on the forums. Can we show off what the new creature sets look like yet? No, not yet. We can't show off exactly what they look like yet because we're still kind of fiddling with them.
Still kind of adding them.
Yeah, so we're still kind of adding them and fiddling them.
Yeah, fiddling them. I mean, they're there. We just got to make sure that they're in manageable, viewable sets so that they make sense. And
yes, will we get access to new creatures in the DM mode? Yes. So we kind of already mentioned and spilled some beans with some of the creatures. So there's a bunch of new creatures coming, some new sets as well. So. And this one's from JZek on the forums. Are you guys planning any promotional events before the PS4 release? Absolutely. So, we're working on it now to figure out exactly when the PS4 and Xbox One version of the game is coming out. Once that date is actually solidified and locked in, I'll start working on, special events and stuff that we can do, as a community together. For those of you that were around for our launch in October, we streamed I don't think I saw my family for 30 days. And I'm not saying that because
No,
I'm not saying that feel bad for me. I'm saying because I streamed every weekend. So we would stream on Thursday, we'd stream on Saturday, and we stream on Sunday for long stretches of time. And we'll probably do something similar when the console release comes out as well. So pretty cool. So yes, we will do a lot more community-centered stuff, of course, when it comes out on PS4. And let's see, does Wizards of the Coast have to approve all content? Yeah, so we work really closely with Wizards, and what ends up happening is all of our design decisions and everything are kicked back to them, and it's double checked. Everything is, since Sword Coast Legends is a game that actually fits into the canon of the Forgotten Realms universe, and to Faerun, they have to check and make sure everything is accurate. So yeah, Wizards of the Coast checks through everything. And we talk to them, multiple times per week. I actually just talked to them today about stuff. So everything goes through Wizards. But they're on the West Coast, we're on the East Coast. Obviously, we're working, very much on our own. But then, of course, we kick back what we do to Wizards of the Coast on a regular basis.
Yep.
So, yeah. So those are the ones from the forums. If you guys have any questions here in chat, then feel free to ask.
I was asked
them.
up there what my favorite character I designed was, and I don't even know.
I
mean, I worked on all the classes and all the AI,
Yeah.
and all the base AI. The bosses, Doug handled most of the bosses.
Yeah.
So, man, that's a difficult one.
That's hard.
Yeah.
I can tell you what
I actually do like the Warlock.
Warlock is really fun. It really is.
For one thing, as I was designing the first set of classes, as I said, we were working with a temporary version of the player's handbook. So stuff was constantly in flux, and we actually went through it was at least 2 different iterations of the player's handbook. So things kept on changing. Like, I don't want to go too far on that, but so the Warlock I had, this is solid, this is set, so this is what I've got to work with, and we already had a system in place for everything, so I knew what we had available, so I knew what I could do by myself, and then I knew how much we could go forward with it, so it worked out a lot, and I think everything, all the trees work really well together, and absolutely it was one of my favorites to work on.
That's awesome. I want to read a couple of these because they're hilarious. My very first D&D character was named Warlock, which is a good name.
Should be a rogue named Warlock.
But then TMS 1978 says, I also made a character called Fat Butt, which is also a great name. Or maybe I'm saying that wrong. Maybe it's like a dwarven name and it's like Fatubat.
Whatever.
Fatubat or something. So you never know. Will replaying the main module over again show any new changes from all the new content you added? Up to now, those early players that only played the main game and content when the game was actually released, or is it all set in stone now? There's a lot of new stuff that was added in Community Pack 1 and Community Pack 2, and additional patches. We honestly, I'm not even joking, between release and the end of CP2, we patched and did hot fixes on hundreds of different things. So you will probably notice differences in gameplay. You'll notice difference in latency. You'll notice differences in resurrection, stabilize. You'll have access to new skill trees, which is really fun. If you've already played through and you've done all the companion quests, you'll actually be able to create new characters and have access to like Minion of the Dark and Stalker and Necromancer, but you have to have those achievements to be able to use those classes. And having access to those and being able to mix those trees with pre-existing trees is really, really fun, and you can basically create a whole new character. Even if you already played like a rogue and you want something different. Well, having a rogue with Corroser and with Minion of the Dark is like a completely different experience. So I say yes. I say if you played it already, go ahead and play it again. There's a lot more. Oh, Neolithical. Yes, I did get your DM on Twitter. I'm sorry, we're still up for lunch. You suggested like a Friday or something, and it was a Friday where I think it was the Friday that I streamed on Friday. So we'll figure it out, but definitely we're still down. Tony and I will definitely grab some food with you. CP3 is still tentatively in the works. Again, a lot is going into Rage of Demons and console release. Work began on CP3 actually prior to those, and so we hope to get back to it.
Yeah, we'd love to get back to it.
Yeah, we'd love to get back to it. People really want that tile by tile, and people really want, branching dialogue and all that fun stuff. But, got to see what happens. Oh, it's pronounced John Smith. Sorry. All right. That's really good. Oh, this is a good question. Will there be any more cool side quests inspired from the team's own D&D experiences? There's a lot of those that have kind of snuck their way into the game. I talked about it on the stream before, but a couple of my tabletop experiences made their way into Sword Coast Legends, which was really, really flattering. And I know a lot of the design, a lot of poking fun at me made it.
I'm sorry.
Was that you or was that Eddie?
No, I didn't do any of the level stuff.
I think that was Eddie. I think it was Eddie did that. So yeah, they're definitely sprinkled throughout the game. There are all sorts of fun things that the team actually experienced that have made its way into Sword Coast Legends. So, all right. So, do we look at these yet? No, we haven't looked at these. So this is actually
the Archfey.
Did we do the Archfey? No, we didn't do the Archfey.
We didn't finish that one.
So we did Sleep.
You read Sleep, yeah.
And then I showed you Dark Delirium.
Dark Delirium is a fear with damage.
Fear with damage. Then we have Misty Escape.
Yep.
And we have Fey Presence, which is a nice fear ability.
AoE fear, yep.
And then we have Beguiling Defenses. This is really cool. So grants benefits against mind-controlling magic, and there's some boss fights that will definitely benefit you.
Absolutely. Especially in Rage of Demons stuff.
Yes, in Rage of Demons, would you go as far to say that the Warlock has an unfair advantage in Rage of Demons?
He may have been built for Rage of Demons encounters. I mean, that's how that works.
Yeah. So there's going to be a lot of mind control in Rage of Demons. Just a little bit of a warning. Prepare yourself, and this Beguiling Defenses is actually really, really handy.
Yes, our studio is in Orlando.
Yeah, we are in Orlando, Florida. We can actually see the roller coasters of SeaWorld from our office.
Down the street from the convention center.
Yeah.
You can see the fireworks from Disney area when you go up onto I-4.
And we have all that fun traffic. It took me 2 hours to get home last night.
2 hours?
2 hours.
It's hour and a half is my worst so far.
2 hours. I had a lot of good podcasts to listen to, so it wasn't too terrible, but 2 hours was a long time.
Yeah.
Started to get bed sores. And
I've had long trips like that when I have to go pick something up before going home.
The worst are when you get stuck. For those of you who know about Orlando, the road that we have to drive on is called I-4, and all those attractions are off of I-4. So sometimes something will happen, and you'll just get stuck for a really long time. It's very similar to what I imagine traffic in Los Angeles to be like. People who live in LA will probably tell us we're crazy that it's bad there, but sometimes you'll get stuck. And one time I got stuck for almost 2.5 hours. It must have been a pileup. And from the moment I got onto I-4, I had to go to the bathroom. And for 2.5 hours, I just sat there kind of like shaking in bumper-to-bumper traffic, having to go to the bathroom. It's the absolute worst. You can't
At that point,
escape.
you just find the first exit you can. And
I almost just went. I was just like, I almost got
find a bottle or something at least.
There was nothing. There was nothing. Yeah, it was terrible. They don't care about this. They want to know about Warlock stuff.
No, that's true. Sorry.
All right, so Hurl Through Hell.
One of my favorites, actually, in the Warlock tree. It's a passive that... occasionally, when you strike enemies, that's a 1% chance for the first rank. It'll basically stun that creature, and it becomes untargetable as it gets hurled through hell, as it is, and it takes damage over time.
And it's a lot of damage.
It is a lot of damage.
It is a lot of damage.
So it's an incapacitate, deals damage, and it's passive.
Yeah. Do you know if this works on some boss creatures?
Probably would.
I think it does.
It might. I mean, we'd have to test that. Again, a lot of the DLC hasn't been tested yet because the testers have all been working, the QA, have all been working on the console. So it's been a little untested. So, well, we'll see. If it doesn't break anything, I don't see why not leaving it.
Why not, right? Stun Bellafoss, hurl him through hell. He'll like it. It's called Vacation Spell. Like going back home. So Hurl Through Hell is really awesome. And for those of you who play a lot of RPGs and a lot of online RPGs and a lot of, you know that passives are really the way to go, stacking passives. If you they might not be the flashiest thing, but if you pick a lot of the best passives, you're just going to dish.
This one's pretty flashy, though.
Yeah.
Because when it hits, you see it. The guy burns in fire. There's a little portal coming underneath him. It's cool looking.
It's really, really cool. Jazek says, had to run as much. I hope your wife feels better, man. Jazek. That's too bad. Well, thanks for coming back and leaving your wife at the clinic. I don't know if that was the best life decision, but we really appreciate it. Can you talk through a new player how to find groups to adventure with in SCL? Yeah, so there's a Steam chat that's open all the time. So if you go to the Steam group on Sword Coast Legends, there's usually people in there that are looking for group. There's looking for group on our forums, and also if you change the search options in Sword Coast Legends to global and not local, you'll be able to see games that are active on a global scale and be able to find them. Sometimes there won't be active games that are actually open to other players in your local area. So I say definitely hop on our Sword Coast Legends forums, let people know that you're looking for group. You can message me directly, either through the forums or on Twitter, and I will help you find a group. So just let me know, and I will gladly help you out. Okay. Shadowvar for a race suggestion from Draconis.
Yep.
Big hand to Draconis for helping us out. Draconis, how long have you been one of our forum moderators? I say one of, like there's a bunch. How long have you been the only forum moderator? Yeah, let us know. I think it was after July, maybe August. So August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March.
Was it like when we launched the forums?
I think about 8 months. So definitely, if you guys see Draconis on the forums, know that he is there willingly. He's devoted probably hundreds of hours of his time to helping out the community just because he likes you guys. And that is awesome. And for that, we salute him. So that's great. All right, so let's go jump in and look at some stuff before.
Let's roll through well. Yep, we're
okay.
Quickly running out of time.
We are quickly. It goes by quickly. I told you. All right, so then we have another passive here. We have Awakened Mind, and this is more resistance to Psychic. You're going to need it.
Yeah, you'll stack it up if you really want to.
Yeah, Dissonant Whisper. So this is a psychic damage on enemies. I love this spell. I showed this off last week. It's still not totally polished, so we showed off a kind of like a work in progress version of it. But tentacles actually pop out of the ground, do a grasp ability on enemies, lock them down, which is really, really fun. And then we have different ranks of Awakened Mind. Phantasmal Force we showed off last week, which is love the animation on this one.
That was actually one of those ones that I made way back when we were working on the Wizard.
Yeah.
And I made custom art for it.
Oh, yeah?
We ended up not having time to finish it. But
Yeah.
I just had a little boo that followed the guy around.
That's awesome.
I think the final effects are much better.
That is awesome. And then we have Create Thrall, which infected and incapacitated target's mind with alien magic. The target is revived and charmed until defeated. This ability is used again on a new target, which is really cool.
It is basically similar to the Tahamet's Raised Dead, only we're shooting to make it permanent. So you raise that dead, and you got it.
Yeah. So there's a lot of really, really powerful stuff in here, and I think we looked through most of these. I'm going to run and play for a couple minutes and show off a couple more of these abilities, and then we're going to go ahead and do some giveaways, and give you guys some copies of the game, and give away some Daggers of Venom, and take some more questions. So let's quickly go ahead and run through and see what we got.
New placeable effects. We are adding new DM placeables.
We are. There's some new DM placeables. I don't know specifically what we are revealing that we are adding to the DM stuff at this point.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. So have to hold off, and we will tell you as soon as we are able to tell you.
You're asking about Polish subtitles. That would be a question for Tim, probably.
Yes, that would be a question for Tim. I don't know the answer to the Polish subtitles. I know there was some work early on.
Yeah, there was something going on
with Polish subtitles, but I don't. I was not in that email thread that was going on with Polish subtitles. So unfortunately, I don't have an answer for you at this point. Lydia, what are you doing?
They want concept art for early class concepts.
I saw that. There was a thread on the forums actually asking for early concept art and stuff. And I'm going to see what I can do.
Don't pull the concept art off the class pages.
No, I would never. Obviously, everything would have to be checked and triple checked before I can show it off. But yeah, so I'm going to have to check and see what I can do with the concept art and stuff. But there's a lot of really cool stuff. Cool is that ability?
I love that one.
It is so cool looking.
That's the Thief of Five Fates right there, grabbing your soul.
That's really, really cool. I love it.
Custom companions, I think that was a CP3 thing, wasn't it?
They're still. I don't know exactly at this point what's going on with the custom companions. I know for a long time that was going to be part of Rage of Demons, but I'll have to check with my list. Like I said, I'm medicated right now, so I don't have everything right at the tip of my brain where it should be. Custom companions was something that we very much wanted to add to Rage of Demons, so it was going to be post console release.
Five-finger death punch.
Poor Drow. Oh.
Destroy his shield. His little spider shield.
Where's it? There it is.
Yeah. I made that.
That's cool. I like that. I like that.
and on the 40th week, SCL said, "Let there be orcs," and there was much rejoicing.
Oh boy. All right.
All right, now I feel like I got to go back and work on the orcs some more.
Yeah.
Make sure that they're good for
You're
all
gonna
sorts
be
of fun
pulling
stuff.
some late nights now that you told them you added some orcs. Let's go ahead and give some stuff away. What do you say? All right, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna leave this open, but I'm gonna jump into chat and I'm gonna give away some copies of Sword Coast Legends, the standard edition of Sword Coast Legends, and we're gonna give away some Daggers of Venom. So if you do want to win stuff, what did we say? What was the thumbs of pain? What did we say?
Thumbs of pain. That sounds.
Was it thumbs of pain?
The chat can remind us if it was thumbs of pain.
I don't remember. Was it thumbs of pain or how about let's say instead of thumbs of pain, let's just say Bella Snots.
Bella Snots.
Can you even see that? Oh, good old green screen. You can't even see it. It's ruining my horrible joke. Bella Snots. So if you would like to win something, say Bella Snots, and we will enter you for a chance to win something good. And we're going to go ahead and eat some snacks as these kind of roll on by. And then we'll give some stuff away, and we'll say goodbye.
I feel like answering some of these questions. Somebody asked about Find
Yeah,
Familiar.
feel free.
The Warlock has Pact of the Chain, which is their Find Familiar spell. Right now it summons an imp, so that's their familiar. Let's see what else. What do we do? Go ahead. I felt like answering that real quick because it was up there.
No, feel free to, man. We're going to be eating Piazza while we give away some codes.
We got a lot of Bella Snots popping in there.
So Piazza is, I'm going to butcher this, so I apologize. Barquillos con crema sabor a vanilla.
Is it French? Italian?
I believe it's Spanish.
Spanish.
But it looks delicious.
All right, let's see. It does. It looks...
We actually, normally people run away when I show them what I'm eating this week, and this week we had people asking for...
All mine had the stuff in them.
I gotta take a screenshot of all these Bella Snots. Thank you guys so much for bearing with me and
That's not bad.
just humoring my ridiculous jokes when I'm sick. It means a lot to me. These are actually delicious.
Nope, we're good.
All right, let's go ahead and give some stuff away.
It's like a light vanilla Oreo or something.
It's really good. Definitely suggest Piazza
Vanilla.
from Colombiana is the name of the company. So if you happen to see those, know that they're good. I have to make sure that I give away the right codes this week.
And that you don't show them on the stream.
Yes, that's why I had the other window open. Were you watching when I did that?
I was watching when you did that.
Man, the good
People are
thing
fast.
is they were really fast. Most people were really honest about it, which is great.
Yeah.
All right.
Bell of Knots.
So the first one, first game code, this is a Steam key, is going to...
Yes, the Warlock armor has a new... or was it the one you were wearing?
No, it wasn't. This is this armor. This is random armor.
The one up there. Okay.
Yeah,
I see
this is the random. I actually gave him the ability to have medium armor and longsword, so he's wearing just different armor. But yeah, there is a specific set of Warlock armor that we get, and all new armor sets and all new weapons as well. So,
yeah. There's a lot of them.
Yeah. So the first winner of a Sword Coast Legends Steam key is JMonster66. So congratulations, JMonster66. The next winner of a Sword Coast Legends Steam key is Tathan. Tathan, congratulations, Tathan. You won a Sword Coast Legends Steam key. If you guys already have Sword Coast Legends, feel free to give these away. If you stream yourself, give them away on your streams. Give them to a friend. Sell them on the black market.
For fat loots.
All right, the next one is going to go to... Here we go. The next one is going to Dexord. Dexord, you won a Sword Coast Legends Steam key.
Come on down.
I know. Totally feel like a game show host.
Da-da-da-da.
Congratulations, Dexord.
Da-da-da-da.
And the last
Sorry.
Steam key is... Oh, why are you doing this to me? Drew Pennycook makes this look so easy. All right, last one's going to Bacon Bastard. Bacon Bastard, you have won a Sword Coast Legends Steam key.
Bella Snots for Bacon.
Actually, you know what? Those weren't Steam keys. Those were Dagger Venom keys.
Dagger Venoms.
So all 4 of you want a Dagger Venom key. Now I'm giving away the Steam keys. This is what happens when you're on NyQuil and you try and stream. So now we're giving away Sword Coast Legends keys. Those keys I just passed out were not Steam keys. They were Dagger Venom keys. So now Steam keys are flowing. So we're going to be giving away 3 copies of Sword Coast Legends. And the first one is going to go to...
We don't know when the Rage of Demons is launching yet.
Yeah, we don't. So copy of the game is going to Cosray34. Cosray34, congratulations. Next copy of the game is going to be going to Neolithical. Neolithical, congratulations. You got a copy of Sword Coast Legends to give away to your friends. And the last copy of Sword Coast Legends is going to be going to Yo Dripple. Yo Dripple. Congratulations. Congratulations, you won a copy of Sword Coast Legends. So, good stuff.
It starts to get warm in this room.
It does get very warm. There's a lot of lights. I have a fever. I'm contagious.
I thought you said you weren't contagious.
I'm just kidding. I don't know what
you
I am,
locked me in
man.
this closed room.
I feel tingly all
right.
over, and I'm kind of sweaty. I don't know if that's normal.
That's me.
Oh, okay. Well, you know. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in this week. We very, very much appreciate it. We'll be back next week with an all-new stream and showing off some all-new content. Big congrats to Deluxe for stopping by and for hanging out, answering really awesome questions. And
revealing too much information.
Man, you need to come on more. I feel like you had an okay time. Then it wasn't.
I did. Well, it was my first time on Twitch. I was a little nervous.
It's odd at first because you're pretending that there's like an audience right there, but they're just in this little box. And then they're sitting at
nice little box.
Yeah, and they're sitting in the box, and then they're at their house. So
all right, sorry.
Yeah, but anyway, thank you guys so much. We very, very much appreciate it. Hit me up on the forums or on any of the social media channels. I'll be happy to answer your questions. We'll be back next week with all new stuff, and maybe we'll show off some of the things that Deluxe hinted at. We obviously have a lot left to show off, and there's a lot of fun stuff with Rage of Demons, and a lot of fun stuff left with Warlock. And it's going to be fun. You know, if you've been excited about this upcoming content, there's still a lot of really cool stuff right around the corner. So you guys are awesome, and we will see you next week. Take care.
Bye, guys.
Right. If you say so. All right. Sure. I'm here. Yeah.
Hello.
I'm listening.